Well, hello, everyone. It's certainly great to be back in front of you again after August proof runs. We certainly hope you enjoy this video. Mark, it's great to be able to do this back and forth with you today. You've been in Ohio for proofs this week. I'm sitting at home in my home office since South Carolina's a COVID hotspot. But we certainly hope everyone's had a great proof week in Ohio.
Yeah, thank you, Herbie. Things have been pretty good here. I think overall, proofs have went well. Bulls came out good, and I think we're going to go on and talk about them a little bit, our proven and our genomic bulls.
Well, sounds great. We're going to be able to use a PowerPoint today, and Mark and I are going to bounce back and forth. And if you have questions, please type them in that chat box, and we'll be able to hopefully answer any questions you have. If we don't know the answer, we've got some other things open on our screens to hopefully be able to help us and get your questions answered. But we certainly appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us. Select Sires has made a difference around the world for a long time. You've seen this slide often, but it's just so true. The great bulls that have stood in the barns in Plain City, Ohio over time, today, Valentino, Chrome, Oliver still there, but all the way back to Beretta, a bull that before Genomic era just led the world in production and did a lot of great things. But there's a lot of great bulls that are bulls that have done a lot of great things around the world that we're happy to represent, and we think we've got some new bulls coming along the pipeline that you'll hear about today that will add to this legacy and continue to make things great around the world. Mark, you work with the communications team on putting this together. It went live yesterday afternoon. Any comments you'd like to have on our?
I'd just like to thank Jenny Thomas, who actually does our hosting directory. She actually took that photo when we were down in Dalhart, Texas at Boer's Jersey Farm down there. Just good picture. And I'd like to thank Jacqueline Sherry, who lays our directory out for the high components or our jerseys. Does a great job. And I think once you guys get the catalog or have seen it online, I think you'll really enjoy what we had to offer.
Well, I certainly appreciate you working with them to make it happen. You know, if you look at the inside front cover, Sarah from the communications team put this together for us, and I just really think it touches on a lot of the things we do right in our Jersey program. 9 proven sires over 380 cheese, 19 over 450 cheese in our young sires. You can read all that later. But I think it's really nice when you open the book to see the power and the strength of our program overall, Mark.
Yeah, and I think that just shows that we have something for everyone. We very much so emphasize customer satisfaction, and that just goes to show that we do have something for everyone, no matter what your breeding goal is at the end of the day.
Last time we had these designations, they were launched in April. They're cross brands, our 3 product lines in accelerated genetics, Generations, and also Select Sires. Mark, you want to touch on these just a minute?
Yeah, just some that I do want to point out, like Elite Sex Fertility. That's just specifically bulls that are fertile and high conception for our sexed semen. Another one I'd like to point out is just the Feed Pro, your general thing, smaller cows, more production-based bulls. And then another one that we don't see very often is the Showcased, the purple one with the little trophy. We have a few bulls in our lineup that do fit that in Reckless, Magician, forgetting one, Victorious, and Swagger that you'll see in our directory. But just a couple of those that I'd like to point out that don't get seen very often that you won't probably recognize when you do see them.
And we do try to have something for everyone. We're a farmer-owned cooperative. We're run by a board of directors of farmers from all over the U.S., and we have a sire committee from each of the members, a dairyman. They range in size from 50 cows to 5,000, and it's certainly great to have that leadership behind us to direct what Mark and I do every day, and the board listens to what that sire committee has to say. But we do appreciate communications getting these out, Mark, and you'll see the logos as we go through some of the slides. We did have 3 new graduates in August. The first one we're going to talk about is 7J1604 Maldini. He's the messy son out of the excellent Magnum, 88-point target, then the 92-point action. He comes in as number 7 bull in the breed for JPI. He's a bull that's tied for number 1 on our DWP dollars, or the proven bulls, 586 DWP dollars. He's A2. A bull that does a lot of things right. You can see in his linear, just all to the right. He's a bull that 285 cell count, a bull that's 71 pounds of fat, 0.21 fat percent. And Mark, you were down in Dalhart. You took the cover picture the same time you took this picture. Anything you'd like to say about the Maldini daughters you've seen?
I mean, I think this cow fits what you've seen as well when you were out in California. Cows that got good strength, plenty of dairy quality, and good mammary systems to go with it. Just an emphasis on what his daughters are looking like, and they're putting high amount of fat in your tank.
They do. No doubt about that. And he's a bull that I think you'll see more daughter pictures come in. I was really impressed with him. The daughters I saw in the Hillmar area when I was out there a couple weeks ago. Our second graduate is Steph from the Jerseyland Sires product line or development program. He's just a bull that has been a customer satisfaction bull. Mark, you want to take this guy and talk about him?
First off, I'd like to make note that he is the number 2 polled proven bull in the breed, standing at 105 for JPI. He's 418 on his cheese, 1225 for milk, 78 CFP. He is A2 BB. Just a bull that they're flat, clean-boned cows, good udders, that I think are just going to progress and get better with lactation after lactation. I don't think you'll see many of them that you won't like, as Herbie's sliding through the photos. This one right here took a really nice photo, real dairy cow, really nice udder, venation all over. But it's just a good emphasis on what these daughters are looking like. Shallow udder, has some dairy quality and flatness of bone, and a lot of production behind them.
You know, Mark, and I think this last picture from Jersey Boys out in Pixley, you just have to love this group of 3 cows in the headlock, the rear view. That's a money angle. That's a mortgage lifter, as they like to say. Just really balanced cows that can produce a lot of components and milk. Our third graduate is Stoney. In the AG product line, Accelerated Genetics, he's 108 JPI. He's a bull that's 0.35 fat percent, 65 pounds of fat, JUI a 6.1, over 500 on DWP, 480 cheese. He's actually our second highest cheese merit bull across our programs in the proven bull lineup. He's an A2 bull with a not great pedigree, excellent dam, 88-point grand dam, 90-point third dam. All 3 of our graduates today have great scores on the closest 3-generation pedigrees. Make sure you look at that when you're looking through or go online on the website, look at the bulls pages. All those scores are listed. This bull has a lot of the different logos at the top of the page that we talked about, or designations, designations, not logos. But he's a bull that does a lot of things right. We don't have any daughter pictures on him yet. We have a couple that I saw in California a couple weeks ago at Alum Farms Partnership that are on the list to get pictured. Super nice young cows, super uddered, shallow uddered, just cows that I think are going to mature into the right kind. Mark, anything else you'd like to add about the 3 graduates?
No, I just think they're all balanced bulls, have something to offer for everyone, whether you're looking for health traits, production, poll. They're all A2. So I think they're just a well-balanced group of graduates we had this time. And
anytime you can graduate 3 bulls and the lowest one on the JPI list is 23rd, it's a pretty good day to add to the top of your lineup. And I think that's what we were successful in doing with our graduation this time. Looking at some other stars in the program, we've got some slides put together with some proven progeny. They'll be at the top 5 for different traits as we go through these. JPI, And then G-Force is our young sires that are available, genomic young sires. So, but we talked about Maldini already at 122. You look at Triumph. Triumph, tremendous bull for production. Greg, a bull that's been around for a while now and continues to add more data and continues to rank well. Another Jersey land bull, Storm Cloud. And then Chrome. So as we start with Greg, tied at number 2 for JPI, he's a pretty fascinating bull. If you look at the top 10 list from U.S. Jersey this time, the top 10 bulls, there's only 3 bulls that are positive for JUI in the top 10, and we happen to have all 3 of them. So Greg is also the number 1 JUI bull that's 4 digits of milk. He's 1,000 pounds of milk and plus 5.9. He's a bull that does some things right on his health traits. Mark, I know you helped take this picture.
Yeah, as I said before, this just exemplifies what this bull can do. Cow that gives lots of milk, great mammary system, plenty of strength and width throughout. And I think you'll see it in the next picture of her in a grazing shot, which I really, really like this picture. It just shows that height and width that they can get to the rear udder, and the dairy quality and depth and openness to make that milk at the end of the day for you guys.
Yeah, you know, Mark, and he's bred at a master breeder herd up in Wisconsin. Actually, Tim Baumgartner, when he was part of our team, sourced this bull for us. Just a super bull to have in our lineup that continues to do things right as we move forward. This daughter out in California at Alum Farms, they're just balanced cows and they stick out. No doubt about it. If you look at his yield deviations, he's still got a little room in him. I think he's a bull that's a great or has been in the lineup and been missed by a lot of people because he's just sort of been the quiet leader in our proven lineup. Chrome needs no introduction. He's a bull that continues to add daughter data. 1,474 daughters scored now, and he's still the number 1 type bull in the breed. He's, I believe, the number 17 JPI bull in the breed if you look at the list. So when you get a combination like that, you can understand why he sells all the semen he sells. The daughter pictures you've seen. Go ahead, Mark.
He's number 6 JUI bull in the breed.
Yep, number 6. He leads and is ranked in about every udder category that Jersey ranks in the top 10. And that's the reason, it's what you see. The groups of pictures that we use, you just have to love the width to these udders, the rear udder height. Even in a grazing area in Mississippi here with the rally group, Mark, you saw these cows firsthand in June.
Really good group. And I think you've seen them, 4th lactation out in California now?
Yeah, I sent you a picture the other day, a snapshot of a 4th lactation cow, Chrome daughter in California, and just tremendous uddered cow. Had matured out perfectly, had adequate strength, and no wonder the dairy still love them. And I still say this shot just exemplifies what the bull does. Mark, talk about this shot a minute.
So I'm sure you've all seen this before, but this is a photo that we took down at Buster Goff's in Hobbs, New Mexico. These daughters are just out of 2 pens, actually. I walked 2 pens, and I found close to 50 of them that we could have done. But if we got 50 in there, you wouldn't have been able to see the quality that these have. These were first lactation cows, so I mean, you just imagine the width and power that they have now and the amount of milk that they're given with the height and width of that rear udder, especially. Just a bull that is a customer satisfaction kind that we keep hearing about, as you can see, without a doubt, one of my favorites personally.
Well, you can understand why he's ranked so high and does what and sells so much semen. He's in demand for a reason. Switching gears to cheese merit just a little bit. Maldini's still the top one. I mentioned Stoney when he graduated as number 2 in our proven lineup. Storm Cloud is number 3 at 464. Slugger P, a bull we probably don't talk about enough, 463 for cheese merit dollars. And Triumph hanging right in there. A bull that's a huge milk bull, a huge protein, pounds of protein bull, leads the breed at 70 pounds of protein. And we'll talk about him a little more in depth in a minute. But look at these G-Force bulls that we have. Archie, the #1 bull in the breed, Dimitri P. Dashel. Bulls, you've seen Dashel's sons get genomics and daughters sell for good money in sales now. Erlacher, Succession, Daniel, Thrasher starting to have some genomic results come through. Butkus, Bulwarks, Mo. It's a great group of young bulls, but it's great to have the #1 bull in the breed. Mark, you source this bull for us. Why don't you tell us all about him?
Well, first off, he comes from a great herd up here in Northwest Ohio, and I think he's going to be one that's going to be special for a long time. He's 598 cheese. He's 152 on his JPI. Over almost 900 pounds of milk and over 100 on CFP. Counts low at 276, positive DPR. 629 on his DWPs, A2. But I keep going back to this, and I'm sure Jeff Ziegler and Herbie have heard me say this enough, but I don't think you're going to find a high genomic bull of this quality with 6 generations of excellent dams averaging almost 92 points. It's just the kind of combination that you're not going to find very often, and just luckily we have him in our lineup, and we're very, very grateful for that right now. I guess, Herbie, if you want to go to the next slide. This is just an emphasis on the dams that he has behind him. Those are the first 4 dams. His dam actually maxed out second calf 91 last week. Then you got a 93-point Visionary, who's a big-time milk cow. Then the third dam's a Headline, and then the white-tailed cow, who I really want to emphasize on, is 11 years old. She's 9th lactation, still in the herd. Scored 93 earlier this year in January when they scored then. Just big production with these cows, and it emphasizes through this bull's proof. Just a one-of-a-kind bull in my mind. I think Herbie would agree.
Oh, I just love these dams. I've been fortunate enough to see the Grand Dam and the 4th Dam several times. You walk around that robot barn, and they're tremendous dairy cows. You can tell they know what they're there for. I was there one time, and I believe that Visionary was milking 128 or something. It was.
Yeah, I think she was like roughly 6-7 months, and she just finally went under 100. It took her that long to get under it.
And I mean, it's 2 robots, father and son, doing a great job. And we're certainly glad they work with us and provided these type of genetics. Be interesting. There's a full sister to this bull or 2 full sisters getting ready to calve this fall. So hopefully if you tune in December, we can have full pictures or full sisters to the bull pictured for you. Right, Mark?
That's the plan.
A bull that's coming out next month that we made sure we wanted to mention because he is a polled bull. He's a Kiowa P son named Dimitri P. He's a bull that has been a sire father for us at Select. He is a JH1 carrier. Need to point that out. He's 131 JPI. He's a bull, great DWP at 647, does a lot of things right. 9 on his JUI from Dashel's cow family. He's out of a got made sister to Dashel. Dashel you've seen, and we've done a lot of things with, and he's made some really high calves that are starting to come through the program as well. Dashel's the next bull we're going to talk about. He's the Viceroy out of the Commissioner, another Jersey land bull. You see the designations at the top of the page, and he's been able to transmit several high-ranking females and males. I believe the heifer tied for #1 in the breed this time is a Dashel daughter. So he's made both males and females that are extremely high that you'll see coming through the program.
Herbie, why don't we point out that he is over 700 on DWP, a trait that we really started putting more emphasis on because we see that it's special or important to the herds that we've worked with. Not many bulls over 700, and I think he emphasizes that very well.
He's one of 3 at Select, Mark, so it's definitely not a lot.
Nope.
If you're looking for CFP, we talked about Triumph being 70 pounds of protein, and you look 133 combined fat and protein. Slugger P, 111. Maldini, a new graduate, Storm Cloud, Salsa P at 92, bull that hadn't been mentioned yet today. And then, and you got to remember, in April, we had a rollback and took basically 40 pounds of CFP off of these bulls. And you look at the production these guys still have. So if 100 used to be your cutoff, and you took 40 off, that's 60. Look at where these bulls are still today. I think that shows how the breed is growing and maturing quickly. Milk, Triumph is in a league by himself, 2,380 pounds of milk. Storm Cloud, almost 1,000 pounds less than he has. I believe if you look at the full list, number 2 is over 700 pounds less than Triumph. We lost 450 pounds, 80 pounds of milk in April, and this bull only lost 100. So he went up 300 pounds then. He went up another 125 or 30 pounds this time. The daughters just continue to milk. And as you look at his slide, his dam's pictured there. She was a tremendous milk cow. Yes, he's a little minus on his percents, but he's a flat bull to make milk. 2380, and I looked at his yield deviation this morning, Mark. He's still got some room to go up. He's almost 2,600 plus on his yield deviation and 75 pounds of protein on his yield deviation. So a top 10 bull in the breed, certainly super glad to have him. And the only chrome son that is proven so far. Not a lot of chrome sons were sampled. This is the only one with the proof. DPR leaders, Dorman, Closer, Dynasty, Perry, Matt. Mark, you mentioned Magician.
Yep.
In Showcase.
In our Showcase program, I think they're really starting to pop out heifers that got plenty of width and strength, but have that angularity and dairiness to pull through in the show ring. We got a couple new pictures this time. This bull's sourced out of the Kiteling Core herd in Kentucky that I think you all know very well. Just a well-balanced bull that will add the angularity and still keep that strength in your herd, especially in your show heifers that you're looking for.
Mark, I want to jump backwards just a second. We just got a question from India, and they wanted to know about milk production, and we just covered it. Triumph is a bull that is the breed leader for milk. Certainly want you to take a look at him if you're looking for milk production. Triumph is by far the breed leader for that trait.
Storm Cloud, I will mention, he's number 4.
Yeah.
So they got 2 in the top 5. Both make a lot of milk. And then you got Steph and Greg and Avon Clay not too far behind them. So just bulls that aren't only just milk, but there's a couple pulled bulls in there as well.
Yeah, we got a lot of different options. So appreciate that question. Back to the DPR. You know, Mark, Magician, like you said, Showcase bull. But you've got some bulls in here like Jolin, who's our number 1 wellness trait bull at Select. Things that you don't talk about every day. Another bull down here, Ensign, a July release, a bull that's 1.9 DPR. He's a leader for productive life, and he is actually the number 1 calf livability bull in AI. A lot of people talk about calves being hard to raise, but Ensign is the number 1 bull for that trait. But jumping to Thrasher, Mark, a bull that does a lot of things right. He's a pilgrim out of a Viceroy, over 800 of milk, making some sons that are really high now, several in the mid 140s just been born that got genomic tested back from our Jersey Land Sires partnership. I think a bull that you're going to hear a lot more about in the future. Mark, you want to take Jolin?
Yeah, and Herbie mentioned Jolin, bull that's in our 250 product line. I would like to make note, he's 1.3 on his CDCB mastitis. That's pretty high for amongst, if you look at the numbers. He's A2, BB. Just a bull from a pedigree that goes back to Paramount Joy. I think everyone knows that cow. Just an all-around great bull. Note that his father is Disco. I mean, he's the customer's kind. People like him. Good uddered cows, and I think Jolin will do the same.
I do too, and like I said, he's the #1 wellness trait dollars bull, and he's a disco that's A2, Mark. That's unique because disco is an A1 bull. But he goes, the Paramount Joy cow is a cow that a lot of people have loved for a long time. Got a question here. Nice Bulls is select sires using Viking jerseys to cross with the U.S. lines. Yes, we are. We've made some matings to some Viking bulls over time. We've got calves coming. We've had some calves born. We have some daughters of some Viking sired proven bulls right now that we're using. So we like to mix and match and try to get the best of all the populations to be able to make what we offer and provide to our customers around the world. So thanks for that question. Caliban, an HR bull, Mark, that I think really does a lot of things right. A bull that is Primus bred, which is their Jersey Land Sires female program. You want to talk about him just a second with his great JUI?
Oh yeah, he's 10-2 on his JUI, and I think you'll see that kind of pulls through as he's out of his dam is a Lemonhead. Lemonhead I'd like to make note of we haven't talked about yet, but just great cows, and I think that's pulling through there. He's 669 on his milk, 2 on his DPR, 5.0 on his productive life, 449 cheese. Just continues to be a solid all-around bull while being A2 and BB, and over 500 on his DWP. Just a well-balanced bull from our Jersey Land partnership that is available sexed only, and he is elite sex fertility. I would like to point that out, as he is sexed only right now and elite sex fertility. So just a great bull that I think we're going to see a bright future with this once he start getting some calves out of more calves out of him. Excuse me.
Well, Lemonhead and then Pharaoh, both customer satisfaction star bulls back behind him. Viceroy's doing a great job as well. And it goes back to the circus cow family. So anytime you can put a 2-time national grand champion with production and pedigrees, I think you've done a lot of good things. Productive life, hit on that just a few minutes ago as well when we talked about Ensign being so high, and you can see he's the #2 G-Force bull. But Dorman and Disco, 2 full brothers that are at the top of our proven bull list. Dynasty, a bull that I think's gotten missed a little. You need to check him out, 6.2 on productive life, and does some other things really well, and there's some great daughter pictures. But Dorman is a bull, not the highest milk bull, but look at his DPR, productive life, livability, low somatic cell, great for mastitis, and still over 7 for JUI. Just a lot of things right. Came to us from out at the Oak Lane Colony in South Dakota. Just a super, super bull that didn't get a lot of use as a young bull. His conventional semen, his fertility, SCR was lower. But Mark, he's an elite sex fertility bull.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just another elite sex fertility bull that I think does a lot, especially in that health trait area in the somatic cell. He is #1 for productive life. I did check that earlier. But yeah, just a bull that does a lot of things, especially for your health trait, and it's real good on the conception of our sex semen.
And some nice daughter pictures. They are what you get, nice, shallow-uddered young cows. Yeah, we wish they gave a little more milk, but there's definitely a place to use a bull that brings these type of health traits into the breed right now, Mark.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. I think it'd be a good cross on our Triumphs.
Oh, greatly. Or use Triumph on those Disco and Dorman daughters.
Yep.
Dynasty, a bull I said a minute ago had been missed. Pharaoh was a crowd pleaser. We had an SMS tour out in California several years ago, and his dam at Alum Farms just stole the show. And here's a son of Pharaoh out of a zipper, out of an all-star, bred there at Pine Tree, Mark, one of your herds in Ohio, that does a lot of things right. 6.2 productive life, 3.0 DPR, 3 points of livability. They live. And the dam's pictured there on the right. And these daughter pictures, Mark, just balanced cows. You were at SBS Ag a few weeks ago.
Yep. And then as you were, but I think you're going to see these cows. They're going to just get better with age. Put a lot of milk in the tank, plenty of strength, productive life. I mean, he's number 2 for productive life. He's in the top 5 for livability. He's top 20 DPR bull. He's in the top 10 for somatic cell. So, like Dorman, just another bull that fits that health trait area that some of the places we need to focus on in Jersey breed, especially.
I agree, Mark. Moving to DWP stars, dairy wellness profit dollars, the Zoetis traits. You look at Maldini, Greg, Stormcloud, Triumph, Stony bulls we've talked about all day. The highest young bull we have is Jaden. He's an October release, bred out in Jersey Boys in California. The Gary DeGraff family and Tim Baumgartner's there now and doing a fantastic job. But a bull that's 146 JPI, he's just shy of 600 cheese merit dollars at 598, 771 on his DWP. He's a bull over 5 on JUI. A bull that just checks a lot of boxes. He is a JH1 carrier. You want to bring that up. But that's his only hole you're going to find. A2, just a bull that does a lot of things right, and you got to like his Zoetis mastitis at 105. Even though he's a little higher cell count, Zoetis's data says that they're not going to get mastitis as much. So, and 109 CFP is pretty high. Renfro's a bull that'll be coming out this fall. We talked about Dashel earlier, out of Listowel Della. He is from our art program, born at Victory Farms, out in Kevin Susan family out in South Dakota. A bull that's 528 cheese, 131 JPI, 673 DWP dollars. So another bull created for specific markets. Ensign is the bull that sold me All-American last year. I talked about him earlier. Mark, a great bull to have in our lineup.
Yeah, he's a bull that's just got a little bit of everything to add to your herd. He's positive on his CDCB mastitis. He's 117 JPI, 6'4" productive life. And I like to focus on that 13 JUI. Health traits and udders go hand in hand, and I think that he really offers that. He's A2, BB on his Kappa casein, and he's over 650 on his DWP. Just a bull that, once again, checks a lot of boxes, and a bull that we're excited about to move forward with and see where we get him.
Well, that 117 for calf wellness is just unbelievably high. And if you look, livability 111, calf scours 106, calf respiratory 109. That's a definite problem in the Jersey breed is calf livability, and this guy seems to be a star. Type's always been something Select Sires has been known for. We certainly like cows that look good. Our employees definitely want your herds to look better over time. And I think you'll see, you look at Chrome as the number 1 type bull. Texas is the number 1 JUI bull, but the tied for number 2 for type. Casino bull we haven't talked about today, but he's at the top of the list. Oliver P, Victorious, just a lot of great bulls here. Mark, you want to talk about any of the G-Force bulls down here?
Yeah, I'd like to point out Candyman. Just a bull that I think we haven't talked about yet, and I think you're going to start seeing daughters of this bull pop up all over. But just a bull that's real good, comes from a great pedigree. Reckless, another bull that's from our showcase program, Back to Flawless that everyone has seen. Now owned by Misty Meadows Dairy out in California, which is and I will point out that he is a craze. Craze is in the top 10 of the breed for type, along with the 6 others that we have in the top 10. But just Navidad, Star Lord, you see it through that Chrome Sun being Navidad. Mo is a bull that we didn't really talk about too much, another high type bull. And then Geronimo, back to the Jersey cow out in Oregon. Just a bull that shows up there that we haven't talked about. It doesn't get seen a lot, but I think the type holds true with everything that we've done, and this list surely shows.
It does, Mark. Got another question from somebody in India wanting to know about a heifer giving milk before she calves. That can happen. Sometimes swelling comes up a little much. People start milking them early, and they want to know if it affects the heifer calf born. It affects the colostrum that you'll get from that animal. So I would suggest talking to your veterinarian and finding a good colostrum replacement for that calf when it's born, if you actually have been milking this animal before she calves. But we'll try to answer the questions as they come in. We appreciate y'all asking these questions. Mark, you were right on these genomic type young stars out there. It's a wide array of sires and dams and maternal grandsires. So I think it's a great opportunity for us. JUI, a Jersey that doesn't have a great udder, we're in trouble. And we do well here. Texas, the #1 bull in the breed, the only bull over 20 for JUI. Victorious, Chrome, Casino, Disco. And when you get down, you mentioned Reckless earlier from Misty Meadows, the Hogan family. Actually, we sourced him from Cash In, but they own the dam now up in Oregon. She's living in California. Mr. Swagger, a bull that's got some heifers calving in that people are liking. I think you saw one that was 87, Mark?
Yeah, actually, we just got one that a photo from out east that went 86. Took a great side shot and an amazing head down photo that you can probably see on the website if you do go check out Swagger, wrong bull. But yeah, just they're starting to calve in. Didn't get them calved in quite enough to have a proof this time, but we're looking forward to it in December. See where we're at.
And there's a pretty good heifer pictured on Magician that should be on the website now too, that you'll find in the sire directory.
Yep, there is actually a couple new ones. So if you see the one in the directory, and then also the one there's another one out from the Minnesota show that was in South Dakota. I think she was a second place fall calf and honorable mention junior champion of the junior show out there.
Yeah, I saw a write-up that Brad Barham did yesterday, and his statement was, if you don't know who Magician is, just watch Facebook. I think you'll see it in your feed pretty quick. People are talking about the Magician calves all over the world, so it's great to see him rank high on this JUI. SCR is something we take very seriously at Select Sires. Getting cows pregnant, having the opportunity for your cows to get pregnant from semen that we have or produce. Mel with the lab, Tony with the guys and the girls in the barn, the shipping crews, the people that handle the semen, getting it to you, the salesman. It all adds to what we try to do at Select in getting cows pregnant. You can have the best genetics in the world, but if you don't get those genetics pregnant in cows, it doesn't really do you a lot of good. And Select Sires is the leader in this. SCR, no doubt about it. You can see some highlights of our proven bulls. You can see some stars in the G-Force. When you look, Select has 4 of the top 5 in the breed, 7 of the top 10, and 13 of the top 20. It just shows our commitment to making sure we have fertile semen to provide our customers, you out in the field, using these genetics and believing in what Mark and I have brought in to develop for the Jersey breed for the future. Mark, anything you'd like to add?
No, I'd just like to thank everyone for their time. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If you get it through a question sent through here, they can get it to us. We'll get it answered. I hope you all enjoyed this, and that's all I have, Herbie.
Well, thanks, Mark. It was certainly great to work with you and do this together. We're all learning in this process. We appreciate Joel, who's the guy behind the scenes that makes this happen. Mark's in Ohio. I'm in South Carolina. But it's amazing what you can do with technology, and Joel is our leader putting this together, and we certainly appreciate him and the entire communications team for all they've done all week. So we appreciate anybody have any other questions or comments. We look forward to joining you again in December after December proofs. And please reach out if you have any questions. Everybody have a safe harvest.